Hurstville. We're looking at 58 Donald Street.
Mm.
Purchase price 2.55 million.
Mm-hmm.
How does the purchase price go for you, first of all? Like, what does this tell you about the market already?
Well, we already know that we're at a very like a high selling point stage. Everything is really costly right now. Especially in a busy place like Hurstville, Punch Bowl, or like, surrounding areas around here. Everything is expensive.
So we've obviously, pulled this property up. It's being sold by Ray White. We've got Alyssa and what else is on there? And Michael. Now these guys, the property size is 519 square meters. Right. Let's have a look at the photos. We've got a nice backyard. It's not too big, but you've got a few little spaces. Look at the front yard, nicely kind of, landscaped.
Well groomed.
You've got, you have a walkway leading into the home. You've got stairs going into level 1, and it's kind of like a 3-tiered kind of half floor situation here.
Yeah.
So you've got the garage on the bottom. You've got your first floor, then your second kind of floor, if you could think about it in that sense. Got the lounge, nice, big, wide open. I'm assuming inside it's Japrock
quite
timber
spacious.
walls.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Yeah, it does.
Spacious dining again. You've got the AC. So we're assuming that it's not ducted.
No.
They did mention that
the kitchen's renovated.
Which, it's presentable, it's nice.
Yeah.
Got your, ovens in there, and it's all pre-installed and everything. Now, the brick look is a bit outdated, but for someone, if they're not wanting to look at that, they can just paint over it.
Yeah.
But yeah, to each
But it depends, right? Who's staying. Like a lot of people would still go for that look, right? Or like traditional, like,
So this is the second kitchen, I'm assuming. This is the first kitchen. So there's 2 kitchens in this location.
Actually, yeah, you're right.
That's pretty good.
So that's one there, and the other one's the actual kitchen, I think.
So if we look at the floor plan, you've got a couple bedrooms up the top.
Yeah.
Got an attic space, bedroom, balcony. So we looked at the balcony at the front. So this is facing the garage.
Yeah.
So garage there, which is quite large.
It is.
You got a family room, got a walkway.
Yeah.
Then you've got that kitchen that's been renovated.
Where do you see in the map? Like, I can't find in the map. Like, you can't see the other kitchen. Maybe zoom. Oh, okay. Eat-in kitchen. So that's the one that we've just seen.
Yeah. So that's this.
The actual. Yeah. But see, they've got this other like.
I think.
Yeah.
What it is that they've been using this garage space.
Yeah.
And they've converted into like this entertainment / if they wanted to, they could have someone be using it as a like a studio situation.
Maybe.
I think that's what they could have done.
Yeah.
Because you've
got... they could have, if they want, maybe they can separate it out and have it like a separate space as well, right?
Yeah, I think so. But
technically, it's ready for it. Like if you look at it,
Let's see. If I look at it again, if I'm just looking at it from my perspective, if they were to put up a wall here, okay, and create a door, this is 1 bedroom lounge kind of situation. Easy.
Yeah, exactly.
If somebody was willing to make it into a share house situation, there's a lot of possibilities here in this home.
Yeah. I wonder if there's like plumbing and stuff for the bathroom. And
see, one thing you could consider is having this space included into where this is.
That area, yeah.
So this could be shared.
Yeah.
Or you could rent out this space by itself.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of possibilities in this place. But again, if you're planning to knock it down, it's a large property.
I wouldn't like look at it. Everything's like really done. Like they've utilized like every bit of space here. Like there's
You don't have a large backyard.
yeah.
Just maybe, a little barbecue here and there, but there's not a lot to do.
No. It's done. It's ready to be like
See,
used.
I want to look at what's in here. I want to see what's in that space.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious.
Yeah.
The outdoor space is nice. You've got a dining area. You've got an outdoor kind of laundry situation.
Like, they can just chill out and buy.
Mm.
Yeah. It's really nice.
So you've got a bedroom looking into the outdoor area.
Yeah.
Bedroom looking out to the front of the street.
Mm.
Renovated toilets. Pretty modern. Modern fixtures.
Very modern. Mm.
I have a gripe with bathtubs that have.
I knew you were going to say that.
Double.
I knew you were going to say it. I was like waiting when you're going to actually say it.
So in this space, you're going to get a lot of debris, dust, whatever. You have to
just building up. There's a lot of like cleaning.
I'm happy with it being like to the wall, and then curve around. Nice. That's a good look. It's pretty good. I
think so too.
Floors are timber.
Timber is good for people like me. Like for example, like I'm asthmatic, so like I hate carpet. So it doesn't work for me. Even for like people who've got allergies and stuff in general. And Australia is obviously very popular for that. So
see, this is assuming this was a garage. I'm not sure if it's still operating as a garage, but you can drive through. Or you've got your own driveway all the way to the back of the garage in the back. So
and it was like a 2-car space, wasn't it? Like a garage.
So let's have a look at the actual description. So set in one of Hurstville's best streets and well known for the wide streetscape, quiet surrounds, and large established homes all set across wide frontages, this is potentially the best location in Hurstville. I don't know. This much-loved family home has been recently renovated and refurbished to modern standards and tastes, and is a home that offers a functional floor plan to fully cater to multi-generational living, which is true. There's a lot of spaces that could be, quarantined off for the kids, that could be given to your grandparents or your elderly parents. There's a lot of potential there. The home offers multiple living zones, which create great entertaining areas. Yeah, true. It's got a little backyard as well, nice outdoor dining, private spaces for additional in-law accommodation across the lower level. So I'm assuming that garage has been converted.
Correct.
With so many living areas, you have flexibility to convert one of these to additional bedrooms if needed, like we were talking before. The kitchen is newly renovated and features large stone benchtops, gas cooktop. So that's the main kitchen.
That is the main kitchen. They're talking about that one. Yeah.
So stainless steel appliances, subway splashback, features tiles, enough space for an eat-in table option. I don't know if you could eat in the kitchen. On the edge, it's okay. The rear of the property has a north aspect and is an entertainer's dream with wide side access. Yes, like we're talking about the driveway. So you got the car going in.
Yeah.
Multiple undercover areas, grassed yard, established garden beds. So the garden beds, there must be something happening. They must have removed it all because it must have overgrown and got out of control.
Yeah.
So you've got storage, you've got toilet and a secure lock-up garage and carport. So I'm assuming they have the toilet in there for a reason.
You reckon?
Yes. So it may not be used as a garage. The property has spacious bedrooms too, with balcony access and a downstairs that flows to the backyard. That is the ideal in-law area. The home combines everyday comfort with long-term efficiency, featuring ducted air conditioning throughout. We saw split systems, didn't we?
The same. Go back.
But interesting.
We can go back and look at it, but let's finish reading. Okay.
Right. Throughout for year-round climate control, along with a 6-kilowatt solar panel system to help reduce energy costs.
Yeah.
But again, it depends on how old the system is. It may not be. It looks great.
Yeah.
6 kilowatts isn't that big of a size, but may not be efficient enough to offset. Your large family. You are probably moving into this home with 6, 7, 8 people.
Family. Yeah. Members,
it could be
for sure.
3 to 4 kids. Could be 2 adults, 4 adults.
Yeah.
If it's their grandparents. So it is so
yeah, for
you
sure.
may not be looking at this really taking much effect. Well, look, if it saves you a couple $100 here and there, why not?
Yeah. Like, it's not cheap. It's expensive, so why not? Yeah.
the home is conveniently located closely to quality schools. Yeah, Hurstville's very
That's
competitive.
very true.
Parks
Yeah.
and within walking distance to Hurstville shops and station.
Okay.
Yeah, so pretty good.
Okay. Okay.
How do you feel about it? Would you buy it for 2.6, 2.5?
I don't know, the location. How do you feel about the location?
Oh, Hurstville's good.
It is good.
You're,
It's busy, it's
you're
popping,
you know,
right?
15, 20 minutes
Yeah.
away from Cronulla. It's
Yeah.
not too far.
But if you
You got
ask
your
me,
Westfields.
like, yeah, I would move. Why would I? Because I've got a huge family. Like, you know, like I
If
feel like
somebody
everyone can have their space.
who's able to maintain
Yeah.
this mortgage,
Yeah.
definitely. Or if they own their current property outright,
Yeah.
they could put that equity
True.
into this one
And
and then
yeah.
manage that mortgage. Maybe if they own $1 million property,
Yeah.
they probably would be able to
Because
service
if
$1
we're
million.
thinking about the mortgage, how
5.
much are we looking at? Like, let's say
You're probably looking at 13,000,
13.
12 to 13,000
Yeah,
on this.
that's
If you're putting down even let's say 12%.
Yeah.
If you're putting down 20%, great. It could be 12,000 a month minimum.
Like you have to have an income of about
Yeah, for someone, if somebody together with their
partner.
spouse
Yeah.
or individually needs at least 260, 270 $1,000 a week income. So look, if you can afford it, why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
But if you could afford it,
Yeah.
are there better options? That's the question.
That is the question. Yeah.
Are there better questions out there? And that's for people to judge. Is
For
this
sure.
worth the money?
Yeah.
It may not be. A lot of people may say, well, you could buy it 10 times more with that same amount of money somewhere else.
Right.
But are you paying a hefty amount to live in Hurstville?
Correct.
And you've got so many options. There's a lot of factors here that add up to that price point.
Good schools, good location, like, restaurants and, food and,
So multicultural area.
Yeah, multicultural. Very multicultural.
Open to, more of the Chinese.
You can go out for a
Vietnamese.
dessert like at 11 p.m. at night. Like, like that's just the vibe here. So, yeah.
So what's your verdict? Buy?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. I'll come and I'll stay in the house. Maybe not be able to buy it, but stay in the house for sure.
Yeah, right.
All right.